Hello and welcome to Coming Soon with Marketing Mark. I'm Marketing Mark. You review the movies, but I review its advertising. You may also review the TV shows, but in this case, I'll review its advertising too. For those too young to remember, The Simpsons used to be a phenomenon. They had everything. Lunch boxes, video games, books, CDs, comic books. When the show ended with Mr. Burns being shot, people everywhere, young and old, were trying to find out who did it. People even cared about who stole Bart's Butterfinger. And then it went into its 11th year, and the popularity drained to the point where people don't even know it's on anymore, nor do they really care. That didn't stop Fox, though, from promoting the Simpsons movie back in 2007. Hell, they promoted the hell out of it. Remember the hype? They had a web game where you could Simpsonize yourself, Burger King toys, and my favorite, they not only had 7-Eleven turn into a Quickie Mart, but they also had them sold products that only existed in the universe of The Simpsons. They actually made fictional products and sold them for a limited time. While that might have been overt, I kind of have to give props to Fox for going all the way with this. Granted, that's the only time I'll give props to Fox, but still. But that's not the only weird thing about Simpsons merchandise. Let's look at their Butterfinger commercials. Now, back in the day, Simpsons used to promote Butterfinger bars in these commercials. Homer or someone else would try to steal Bart's Butterfinger, but Bart makes sure that nobody eats it. Or in his words,
nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
What I'm surprised about is that these commercials lasted for years, as they started back in 1988, yes, back when they were on Tracy Ullman, to 2001. That's 13 years. Do you know of any other tie-in that lasted that long? I don't. But to be fair, they did at least try to come up with new ways to tell basically the same story, so I guess everything turned out okay after all. I do have two things to say about these commercials, though. Number one, instead of just getting Bart's Butterfinger, why didn't they just go to the store and get their own damn bar? Are they that lazy? Well, actually, I do know Homer is. And number two, Milhouse made his first appearance in a Butterfinger commercial back in 1988.
Hey, Bart, want to trade lunches? No way, dude. I got each of the 4 food groups. Sandwich group, cow group, jungle group, Butterfinger group.
That's really cool. Though I am surprised about how much they look more like their modern versions as opposed to their Tracy Ullman versions or even their first season versions. One has to wonder, if they were able to animate them like that before, then why didn't they just animate them like that? That was weird. Now, I don't have much more to say about Butterfinger commercials, well, except for one. In that commercial, Bart is at a karate class, and the karate instructor tries to get the Butterfinger from him, but he stuffs it in his shirt. Then the instructor throws him around. And am I really supposed to believe it takes the last time he throws him around for the Butterfinger to fall out?
Lesson number 2.
Physics? What's that? Now, you know how Phalis looks at bootleg merchandise? Well, let's do that too, because The Simpsons has been known for its bootleg merchandise, like Pikachu Homer? Or how about Teenage Mutant Ninja Homer?
I don't have time to look at the product. I have to get it out as quickly as possible.
Bootleg Simpsons merchandise has also been known for its poor grammar, like Bait Simpson, or a shirt that's supposed to say tourist, but actually says tourist.
I don't have time for grammar. I have to get it out as quickly as possible.
Also, that tourist shirt has Bart Simpson fucking Rod Flanders. You know, 2 kid characters.
I don't have time to see whether or not a character is a child. I need to get it out as quickly as possible.
I'm calling the authorities. There's also stuff like boxer shorts that has the Simpsons logo on it, but has a character that's never been on the show. I guess he didn't have time to look up the characters, huh? Let's just get back to the official stuff. Another promoter of The Simpsons, besides Butterfinger, was Burger King. In one commercial, they had the family dress up in camping gear and produce the creepiest Bart Simpson toy I've ever seen.
Including you-know-who.
Sure, in the commercial it's supposed to be creepy, but could you imagine what would happen if a child got that? I will say, though, that for the most part, the Simpsons commercials, whether they be for the show itself or for the tie-ins, are usually well done. Most of the time, they use the characters' personalities to full effect to show how they would probably use the product, and it usually leads to some very entertaining commercials.
Presenting TGI Friday's special mouth-watering Christmas appetizer. The Holiday Sampler Platter.
Platter.
Spicy, tangy buffalo wings.
Buffalo.
Fried mozzarella and loaded potato skins.
Oh.
KFC bucket and a 2-liter 7-Up. Thank you, sir.
He forgot to charge me for the drink. Ah! Police! I'm surrounded! They'll never take me alive!
But, sir...
No!
Today on Hotel Views, we join an average American family in search of this summer's best values.
Are we there yet?
No.
Are we there yet?
No.
Are we there yet?
No.
Oh, some of them are flawed. In the Simpsons Corolla commercials, it was awkward to have the car be live action while everything else was animated because it looked weird and stood out too much. It would have been a better idea to have everything else be live action except for the family because it probably would have fit better. Actually, maybe not, because they tried that by inserting The Simpsons into classic movie scenes, and it looked weird because they didn't really sink in well with the scenes.
All clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home.
No problemo, man.
I can't swim!
What, are you crazy? The fall will probably kill ya.
Ooh, good point.
It's sad when the nostalgic critic has better green screen than you. However, those commercials were still pretty good for what I said above, so it's no big deal. However, there's one commercial where I felt the characters acted out of character in a commercial. You see, a few years ago, The Simpsons did a tie-in with Coca-Cola. In the commercial, Mr. Burns becomes bankrupt, which makes him sad. What makes him feel better? Am I really supposed to believe that someone like Mr. Burns would get over being bankrupt because someone gave them a soda? That's about as likely as Ralph being declared a genius and Marge letting Homer get into crazy shenanigans. What's even weirder is what happens next, because what happens next is that Lenny and Carl lift him up into the air because he got a soda. That's the best explanation for why it happened. Really? Someone offers Mr. Burns a soda and suddenly everyone likes him? I seriously doubt that Lenny and Carl would want to have anything to do with Mr. Burns, even if Apu offered him a soda, considering how he treats his employees so awfully. There was also a Burger King commercial for the Simpsons movie that didn't make much sense. In the commercial, they promoted that Simpsonize Yourself campaign, and in the commercial, everyone turns into Simpson characters. Now, if you turned into a pop culture character, would you A, act like that character, or B, freak out?
I'd actually act like that person.
Really? Because that's how they act in the commercial.
Alien invasion. And the line between civilization and anarchy is eroding as
Out of my
the...
way, you punks!
Wow! Lunchtime!
Yeah, I gotta get out of here.
I think most people would freak out. I know I would. Now, there's one other thing I'd like to say before we end. Last year, they made a short about Maggie Simpson called The Longest Daycare. It was okay, but I don't really understand the idea behind it. Hey, let's make a short about the baby. But that's not the weird thing, no. The weird thing is that it was shown in front of Ice Age Continental Drift, a show for adults that plays alongside other shows made for adults. Had a short that premiered before a kids movie? What's next? For Ice Age 5, are they going to premiere the new Family Guy short, Stewie Griffin's Fantastic Journey? Seriously though, out of all the movies they could have premiered this in front of, why that? Why didn't they premiere it in front of another adult movie? Didn't they have any other comedies coming out that year? Actually, I think they did. They had This Means War and The Watch, and that's about it. But still, they could have premiered it in front of those movies. Come on. American Dad had a short that premiered in front of Fever Pitch, not Robots, so why did you premiere it in front of this movie? Oh well. Anyway, that was the phenomenon known as The Simpsons. I'm Marketing Mark. You review the movies, or in this case TV shows, but I review its advertising. See you later.